family. This is Karen Zeller speaking, and I've been asked to demonstrate doing the communion bread. And I haven't made it for a long time, and so I went to my trusty 10 Talents cookbook, and in there was a bookmarked with a couple of other recipes. So I got everything out today, ready to demonstrate this, and then Adeline called me and said that she had sent me an email with a YouTube video of Seventh-day Adventist communion bread video YouTube. So I watched that, and oh my, I'm going to be doing it totally different today. The secret was using a baggie to mix it all in. You don't have to use a bowl. You don't have to roll it out with flour all over your counter. So this is my first time of trying it this way. And here we go. Okay, so the first thing we add is water. 1/3 of a cup of water. Let me get that. The first thing we need is water, 1/3 of a cup. The second thing we need is oil. I'm using avocado oil. You can use any oil, actually. So then the next ingredient is salt. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of honey. And then, of course, the whole wheat flour. This lady on YouTube used the pastry whole wheat flour, but I don't have that. You can use white flour or anything you want to. This is the flour. And the baking sheet with parchment paper on it. Okay, and first thing is the water. We're going to add it into the bag. It's scary to me, but anyway. Okay, 1/3 of a cup of water. And next is the oil, 1/2 cup of oil. And this recipe actually will make 100 little pieces of communion bread. So, then the next is the kosher salt. I'm using, the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to use 1. Because it's a little stronger than the other kind of salt she used. And the honey. And you put all the liquid in here first. Honey's slow, as you know. Okay. And then you grab the bag and you squeeze it tight and you shake like crazy. Okay, now let's add the flour. 2 cups of flour.
What kind of flour do you have to use?
Well, as I said before, she used whole wheat pastry flour. I have just plain whole wheat flour. And but you can use white flour. You can use 1 cup white and 1 cup whole wheat. It's whatever you want. But I think in Bible times they didn't have pastry flour, and they just had stone ground. This is stone ground whole wheat, and that's what I have. So, okay, now here we go. You grab it again and start kneading it with your hand. Just have to keep doing this until you see all the flour is incorporated. It takes a few minutes. I think I'm going to add a little bit more water, just a few drops. It doesn't want to stick together too good. Okay, now I've kneaded it and I've put it towards the bottom. As you can see here, it's at the bottom of the bag. And now I just roll it up. You don't need to seal it because it's pretty tightly wrapped. But anyway, then you let it rest for 15 to 30 minutes. You can do something else while it's resting.
Okay, it's rolling.
Oh, okay, it's rested 15 minutes. And I'm going to take it out. Hopefully it looks okay. It's kind of broken in half. And I'm going to put this part in a smaller baggie and roll it out. Because then I'm going to use another method is to let a person or children form it into balls and then press it on the cookie sheet. So it gets the kids involved and they'll have fun. So here we go. I'm going to try to roll this out like I changed the bag size. I like it because you don't get your counter messy. It's great. Let me get my scissors out. We're going to get the job done. So now you go down and you let air into here and you cut along the edge on the top's open. So then you cut along both edges, both sides. When that opens it up, you can kind of press it together better. Then you take this paper and lay it down here. By the way, you have your oven preheated to 425. Then you peel off the paper. I'm in the baggie, and it's ready to go. Now, we're going to prick them with a fork too. Now this sheet, I thought it'd be fun. You can cut them in squares, or you can use little cookie cutters. The kids might enjoy that. Just press it all the way through, but don't take them out, so they'll break away. Here's a heart, which stands for Jesus' love. And then here's a bigger one. And then a glass. If you have a glass, you want to make a big one. And then cut it into smaller pieces. And decorate it. Make a cross on it. And then after it bakes, that makes it easy to take apart. Okay. I have done a few token ones here. My dough's a little dry. I should have added more water. And, you know, the whole wheat flour, stone ground for sure, absorbs a lot of water. And as it sits, it needs more water, apparently. So you could have added more water, depending on your flour. Okay, now the next step is to prick them with a fork. Okay, 425 oven for 8 to 12 minutes, so you have to keep your eye on them. I'm going to set my timer on 8 minutes. And it probably depends on the thickness that your dough is too. These have stayed in longer than 8 to 12 minutes because the dough is so much thicker than regular. So I'm going to take them out now and let them cool off. Okay, now you just slide it off the tray and let them cool. They'll cook quicker this way. The oven was 425, so you can see the parchment paper got a little toasted too. The oven, and they're a little brown because I really didn't know how long to cook them because of the thickness, and they were a little dry. They weren't as pliable. So here we go. We're going to break them off and put them on the plate. They're still kind of hot. So there's a heart. This heart I cut in half, so it's like a broken heart. And this one was cut, so you can cut it into 4 pieces. And here's the circle one. There we go. You get 4 pieces. This is a nice size for communion, I think, right there. And then there's this baby one. with that little tiny cookie cutter and the scalloped edge. Okay. It's too close to the edge. That's it. Okay. So the YouTube I watched was by Vicki Rutherford. And go on YouTube and look for that. Vicki Rutherford SDA communion bread. And you can watch the YouTube video of her doing the whole thing. Also, at the time of Jesus, the flour might have been barley flour, because that would have been the first spring harvest. And they could have used that maybe in conjunction with the other flour, depending on what they had. And at the first communion. So, okay, that's it.